your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good thing to say, I dabbled in stand-up or something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. Wow. It's Wednesday, guys. Happy Hump Day, February 26th. Last Wednesday of the month, last Wednesday of Black History Month. And what better to discuss as we bring Black History Month to a conclusion is Joy Reid's about to be Black History. Woo! Her show is canceled. Oh. I'm back. I'm back. I pressed the wrong thing. I'm just so excited about Joy Reid's show being canceled. I truly am gleeful. Wow, but why? But why? Let's see. What does the Post think? Because I have my ideas. I have my reasons. People just don't like racism anymore. Canceled Joy Reid shows why MSNBC has outlived purpose as lefty propaganda machine. Now, this is an editorial, but there's no lies in here. Deranged MSNBC hack Joy Reid's show, The Reid Out, has been canceled as the beleaguered network's president, Rebecca Cutler, gestures toward a wider slate of changes meant to save MSNBC's bacon ahead of its spinoff as a separate company. Let's be clear, that Reid ever had a top-line name brand show was a joke. She regularly distorted, lied, and misinformed viewers to advance the agenda of the Democratic Party's left wing and bolster its policy goals. Yeah, she was a puppet. She was a propaganda puppet for the Democratic Party. On Russiagate, COVID, and everything else, Reid was in the forefront of the media's propaganda efforts for years, not to mention the fact that she deserves some Lifetime Achievement Award for appearances on in our The Week in Whoppers column. So no tears over here for her exit. Yes, yet it sure doesn't look like MSNBC is learning much. The honchos are reportedly bringing on Kamala Harris surrogate Simone Sanders Townsend as part of the panel replacing Reid, along with Democratic Zionist Alicia Menendez and Biden-loving GOP Michael Steele. And Rachel Maddow and ex-Biden flack Jen Psaki, a world-class liar herself, will still figure prominently in its lineups. I don't know. I don't think it's looking good for Rachel Maddow either. When did this article come out? 2 days ago. Wow. So here's the bigger question. Has the network outlived itself, outlived its purpose? It existed primarily to put the legit news gathered by NBC, itself already plenty left-leaning, through a progressive meat grinder, and to generate increasingly strident seal claps and screeches of laughter from its boomer and Gen X audience. MSNBC spent most of the past decade in an endless frenzy over Donald Trump and whatever progressive cause of the week happened to be in fashion. But immediately after Trump's election victory, the network's primetime audience plummeted 53%. How is that even possible? It's since seen a bit of a rebound. Now, were these hate watchers? But I think it might have been actual Democratic voters, because I just saw something now that more Democrats are watching Fox than anything else, which is interesting. So maybe all those lawn sign Americans have given up MSNBC as the remedy for Orange Man. Perhaps they've given up on TV news and now content themselves with crying into their kombucha. Long shot, they're engaging in some serious self-reflection, for which MSNBC is worse than useless. Whatever the cause, MSNBC's raison d'etre, I guess reason of the day, is looking very unclear. And that's great news for America. Yeah, Joy Reid, she was lucky that it went on for as long as it did. She's lucky she even had a show. And she seemed very taken aback by this news. She seems very shocked. In fact, here is a rant of her talking about, her show had value. This is townhall.com. Joy Reid breaks down sobbing while addressing being fired from MSNBC. My show had value. Whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues, the need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, I guess not. I guess all your reasons are not enough to keep you going. Let's listen to a bit of this, and I'll tell you what I think.
My show had value, and that that what I was doing had value. And in the end,
I guess
I try not to cry on TV. And I say this is kind of like being on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well.
First of all, Joy Ann Reid, listen up, Joy Ann Reid. You're a millionaire, okay? You had a cushy corporate job for years, and you're out here using free Zoom. Look at this. I am so far away from the level that Joy Reid was at, and even I can afford to pay for premium StreamYard. You're out here using free Zoom. Very, very sad. If you're gonna go ahead and buy a Shure microphone, go ahead and pay for exclusive Zoom or premium Zoom and premium StreamYard. Look, if you're gonna try to start doing your own show, a la Don Lemon, you're gonna have to pony up for something a little bit better than free Zoom.
Is that in the end? Thank you.
She has a man to hand her paper towels, but not somebody to man her show, I guess. Paper towels? Where are your tissues, Joy?
Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby.
Yeah, nobody cares about Black Lives Matter anymore. It's 2025. Okay, it's not 2020. This is no longer the summer of love. People don't want to focus and exacerbate racism anymore, Joy.
Or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks.
Oh my God. If it weren't for Joy Reid, we would never know that Black people hate Asian people. Wow. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Joy. We couldn't just open our own eyes and see Asians getting pushed into the subway multiple times a week. Wow. Thank you so much, Joy.
Folks that or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country.
Nothing but come to this country illegally, which is illegal, and they should be deported for. Oh, my Lord.
My parents did, and try to make a life, and defended them.
Did they come here illegally, Joy? Because if they came here illegally, then you have an argument. But what everyone's talking about, what we need to change in this country is people need to come here legally and not illegally. It's a simple concept, but she likes to conflate them for virtue signal points.
Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient.
Books that people inconvenient? Oh, like the books that have porn in them, basically detailing sexual acts for kids. Sorry, that's not something people want to watch anymore, Joy.
That Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object.
I think the American people, honestly don't give a flying crap about Gaza. Nothing against them. It's just the vast majority of American people voted Donald Trump in because they prioritize America first. We don't care about these other countries getting all our tax dollars, getting all of our time, attention, resources. I'm sure they're great people. I don't know. I actually don't care either. I'm part of the group of American people who don't actually care. If it's a country that's not America, sorry, that's going way, way to the back burner. It's going to the back of my mind. It's low on the priority list.
To have a right to object to little babies being bombed. And
Yeah,
where I
nobody
come
wants that.
down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry.
I'm being canceled because I talked about babies being bombed. See, this is what she's going to do. She's going to play the victim again and say, well, I'm getting I don't know why I'm being fired. I talked about babies being killed. It can't be that you're a propaganda machine. No, it can't be that. She's so pathetic.
That I stood up for those things, because those things are of God.
Now we're going to talk about God.
I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm
not
just
lying. Not what does God think about lying?
Proud of my show.
She starts this clip by saying, "Oh, it was important. It was important. I don't understand why I was fired. It was important." Which tells you what? Which tells you that ratings have been shitty for her show for a long time, but MSNBC just kept it going because it was important. She was talking about the victim issues du jour, and now that Trump's won, it's like we can't ignore it. We can't ignore it anymore. We got to go back to meritocracy. We got to go back to whatever show gets the best ratings gets to stay on. And yeah, maybe her show has sucked for a while, but they've kept it up because she's talking about issues we think people care about. Turns out people don't care about the things she's been talking about. Sorry, Joy. Bye. And take your free Zoom. Maybe start your own show. And she's able to. She's got the money. She's got the resources. She can most definitely start her own show. Oh my goodness. Okay. She's just one of the most vile racist people on TV. And I have no sympathy for her. And she's got to figure it out. Like everybody else, nothing's guaranteed in this world. And certainly nothing's guaranteed in showbiz. So yeah, you're going to have to pick it up and figure something out. Nobody gets to keep their cushy job forever. This is from Hi, sorry. This new mouse I'm using likes to kick me out of StreamYard. Okay, I'll have to just get a different mouse then. Okay. From Colin Rugg. New former CNN host Don Lemon, also fired, tells Megyn Kelly. Oh, do we want to go back to Megyn Kelly? No, we want to talk about Rachel Maddow, because she's another person who is spending her time simping for Joy Reid instead of worrying about her own job, which she should be worried, because hopefully she's next. Here is Rachel Maddow. No joy. MSNBC's Rachel Maddow in the wake of Joy Reid's show being canceled. I think it's a bad mistake. Then she accuses MSNBC bosses of being racist. Oh, that's going to go over well. It's unnerving to see the network's decision to cancel shows hosted by non-white anchors. That feels indefensible. Again, it's not about none of these morons can get it through their head that it's not about your skin color and your ideologies that you're pushing. We're going to go back to meritocracy now and what people are actually watching.
An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been
Nobody cares.
gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think.
Oh, everybody, I'm such a good ally. Look, I love Black people. I'm so sad that this Black person is losing their job, even though the ratings must have been dog shit for her to be let go. If she was doing a great job, they wouldn't have fired her. But Rachel is taking this moment to let everyone know what a great ally and friend she is. I've never heard Rachel mention Joy on her show before. Maybe she should have, I don't know, done more to get her viewers or gone on her show. I don't know. I just think this is bullshit. This is she wants everyone to know where she stands, whose side she's on. And and if Rachel gets the boot too, which is looking like that's going to happen, maybe she can do something with Joy, but she wants everyone to know where she stands.
I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend.
Oh, weird. A Black woman, now an Asian. They're not allowed to lose their shows. Did I mention that they're Black and Asian? We must be looking at something else other than just sheer skin color.
And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
Oh, we're not allowed to hire the Blacks. Or we're not allowed to fire them. They're supposed to have forever jobs, like in the government. Yuck. Just disgusting, Rachel. What a moron. Who knows if that's how she really feels or if that's just what she's got to put out. Let's see if there's another. I think there's another clip here from Ms. Maddow. Here it is. Here's her unhinged rant.
PM hour, all the other nights except for Mondays. So that's a big change. An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m.
Same one.
7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Reid Out, ended tonight. And Joy...
Okay, I've already played this clip. It would be redundant to play it again. Sorry, I'm just fired up about this. I'm annoyed. I'm actually like a bit mad. I'm going to play this clip from Keisha King. Keisha King. Bum, 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 bum. Wow, I really hate this mouse. Okay. You know what it is? Because it's got this side button. That's where I'm used to holding it all the time. And the side button is what clicks me out. You guys don't care. Okay. Y'all remember from Keisha King? Y'all remember when Joy Reid defended showing adult materials to kids in public schools? Oof.
Do y'all remember when Joy Reid said this?
Yeah. The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other moms for liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your
Yeah, she made herself the authority on teaching and what books are appropriate for kids that clearly have porn in them.
What a tragic story of a young man who's anal by his adult family member. So you have pedophilia. In what context is a strap-on acceptable for public school?
And Tiffany just eviscerates her. She holds her own. She does a great job with Joy here.
I mean, that's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
You're
You're
asking me to
yourself as an
remember the
expert.
name of an author.
You
the
just
name of the
remembered
author
very
doesn't
specific things.
Joy.
Here's my
We're
question.
talking about
Here's my
Strack. You
question.
didn't answer my
No.
question.
What I'm saying to you is that as you are an expert in this
And she was couldn't have been more correct. So Joy has to pivot. Oh, you're not an expert. You're not an expert. You don't have to be an expert. You can just have eyes. She's a mother. She's a concerned mother who doesn't want porn in her kids' classrooms.
book.
I don't
Or
have
in-
to
hold
be an
on.
expert
No,
to know
hold
that those aren't
One
appropriate
moment,
for public
one moment.
school. I mean, come
This
on, let's get
book
real.
is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal
Then buy it for them and let them read it on the weekends? It's not that hard.
experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about
And
Joy, you
each
said you'd
parent,
answer. Joy, you said
one
you'd let me
moment, no.
answer.
Each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read.
Oh,
Now, what
like because some parents would be down with incest, rape, and pedophilia. Let them have the book. It's not banned. You can probably buy it from Amazon right now. She's so condescending in this interview. But Tiffany just absolutely shines.
It is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story, why
Oh my
don't they have the
gosh.
right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been by a family member, they've experienced
And your proof
rape
of that
from
is
someone.
what?
You just
Oh,
said
what
that
a
the child
moron.
feels seen by this story.
That's why I'm happy that people will no longer be subject to those types of opinions.
Oof. And that was just like the perfect moment for Tiffany. She waited, and she was like, if your kid feels seen by this story, that means they were abused. In an interview with Tiffany, Justice's loyalty to the Democrat Party and the communist agenda is unwavering. She is willing to sacrifice children and their innocence for their revolutionary goals. Yep. Wow.
Do y'all remember when Joy Reid said
Ridiculous. Okay. What else am I putting up here? Okay. This tweet from DC Drano. Everybody's talking about this. Hello, I'm back again. This mouse is not good. Okay, we're gonna get through it though. Wee! DC Drano. Looks like Rachel Maddow might be next on the chopping block. MSDNC leadership just fired a bunch of her staff after she called them out over firing Joyless Reid. Rachel probably has contract protections, but her staff doesn't. Mess with the bull and you get the horns. MSNBC star, this is from the Daily Mail. MSNBC star Rachel Maddow's staff is purged after she blasted network's brass over canceling Joy Reid's show. Whoa. MSNBC is set to purge most staffers working for a $25 million liberal icon. She's worth $25 million. Whoa. And she wears the same thing every day. There you go. Okay. MSNBC draining their own swamp. Wow. Fired, stepping down, last man standing. Great meme. Wow. Yeah, nothing is forever. If she does have contract protections, there could be a clause for insubordination or right to cancel anytime the stock starts tanking. 144,000 viewers and declining. That stock is junk. They're going to make it so miserable for her that she quits. So racist. MSNBC fired the black woman and kept the white man. Figures. Oh my God. And now The View is sweating. That's great. Love to see MSDNC cleaning house. Their ratings are in the toilet for a reason. Karma's a powerful thing, isn't it? Rachel Maddow should have kept her mouth shut. Now her staff is paying the price for her big mouth. Good riddance to Joyless Reid, and hopefully more to follow. It would be lovely to no longer have to see Maddow on the air anymore. She does nothing but spreads hate and division. Hopefully they can figure out a way to can her. Roger Stone, they really should fire that guy. That's great. That's great. We're sick of their lies. Wow. Yeah, well, at least MSNBC has to at least look like they're changing it up. Who knows if they will, if they'll put somebody very similar in her spot, but this is nice. This is kind of like how it felt when they fired Brian Stelter and Don Lemon. Oh, speaking of Don Lemon, he's got lots to say. Here is a good montage of Joy Reid moments with Megyn Kelly here.
Joy Reid's show looked and sounded like the following mashup put together by Tom Elliott of Grabian.
Donald Trump wants to never let black and brown folk up off the mat. Evident what they
Oof, oh God. I just forgot how bad she was.
mean by DEI, right? Why not just say what you mean? You can't stand black people. We get it. You've been heard.
We can't stand you, specifically just you, Joy.
You are black plus anything else. You are black. Violent white nationalism that today threatens our national security. We do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men. Let's be clear. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Similarities to what happened in Germany and what's happening now in America are just undeniable. Donald Trump is acting like a Nazi, talking like a Nazi, and now posting like a Nazi.
And she was copying his hairstyle here.
Like right wingers were saying, get in the oven anytime you made any benign comment on Twitter. Yes, Biden is aging. He shuffles when he walks and like forgets names and makes gaffes. But he's not incoherent. He can give us prompters.
They all covered for him. Wow.
Kamala Harris has passed the audition flawlessly. This has been, in many ways, a perfect campaign. I got into Harvard and, Yale, Vassar, and the University of Denver, too, because I had a really high GPA.
Sure. Had nothing to do with your skin color.
And fantastic SAT scores. Let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action.
Oh, what? Did she really say that? Let's rewind.
And fantastic SAT scores. Let me just, anyways, a perfect campaign. I got into Harvard and, Yale, Vassar, and the University of Denver, too, because I had a really high GPA and fantastic SAT scores. Let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action.
Which is it, Joy?
Okay, just one other point here. You heard her mention tears, white tears, male tears. She's got a thing about it. No, most normal people watching her cry.
Yeah, what is it? Did she get on the colleges based on merit or based on skin color?
Beginning of that soundbite. What we did mattered. Might feel a pang of sympathy for her, empathy. So they might. And then you remember who she actually was on the air. And clips like this one, which I mentioned yesterday, reacting to the Kyle Rittenhouse trial in 2021, SOT 6.
There's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like Green Waterworks.
Wow. Oh, she sucks. Good riddance.
Yeah, right. It's white tears are fake. Kyle Rittenhouse, 18-year-old put on trial for murder, called a white supremacist unfoundedly by the running next president of the United States. He was faking it. His white male tears, they're racist too. And white female.
Yeah, goodbye. She's such an a-hole. Okay, thank you for that montage, Megyn Kelly. Now we will bring up this clip of Don Lemon also melting down. Also a fellow fired person. Upset that his skin color and sexuality was not enough to carry him through. Former CNN host Don Lemon tells Megyn Kelly to go F herself because she was mean to Joy Reid. Reminds his viewers that Reid is a woman. Lemon tried claiming that Kelly was a misogynist because she trolled Reid, who sadly lost her low-rated show. The far-left show host also claimed Kelly was a racist as he whined about Kelly's comments about Reid. So let me just say to Megyn Kelly, in my 30 years of being a journalist and my 50-some years of being a person of color, go F yourself. She has built the second part of her career on being a troll. So this is what Megyn Kelly said about Joy Reid, right? And remember, Joy Reid is a woman. All right, let's just watch this clip. And here is Don Lemon, who, again, millionaire, can't be bothered to get himself a high-definition camera. And here he is using StreamYard's great. I'm using it right now. But again, you're a millionaire. You can afford a producer to be doing this for you. You could be on a little bit more advanced software here.
So let me just say to Megyn Kelly, in my 30-some years as a journalist and my 50-some years as a person of color, go fuck yourself.
Wow. Okay? Wow, big words from a big boy. So tough. And a sip too. That's how you know he really means it.
I usually don't like to talk about her because she's one of those people, she thrives on it. She has built the second part of whatever of her career on being a troll. So this is what Megyn.
She's actually crushing it. She's somebody who is a great example of someone who left the mainstream media and is doing incredibly well on her own as an independent news reporter. She gets great views, and not just because I've been on the show, but she's an example. You should be looking at what she's doing and trying to emulate her because she's crushing it. And you're over here with the word hot topics on your StreamYard lower third.
Megyn Kelly said about Joy Reid, right? And remember, Joy Reid is a woman. Megyn Kelly's a woman. She's supposed to be all about women and, support.
What? So what? Where does it say because you have the same genitals, you're supposed to support somebody blindly? No, that's what the left does. Okay, the left don't call people out as individuals. No, I'm black. I have to support the other black people. I'm gay. I have to cover for all the other gay people and so forth. And I'm a woman, and therefore no other woman can ever be wrong. No, only the people on the left do this, and regular people don't.
Supports women. Okay, so this is what she said. Remember when Joy Reid laughingly mocked white women tears as pathetic and offensive to her? Who's crying now, Joy? Mm-hmm. Good riddance to the absolute worst person on television, and shame on NBC for letting it go on this long. And she has she is an axe to grind when it comes to MSNBC, and also this whole she's racist, right? It's just
she's racist. So disregard her opinions, everybody. And I'm gay and black, so I'm doubly correct.
I'm gonna give you the evidence. Supposedly learned from it and then spent every day after apologizing for it and being fired for it, then spent every day proving the point that she is a racist. And not very supportive of women. If you look, all you have to do, the evidence is in her Google search and what she says about women and how she calls them out all the time. The worst person. No, Megyn Kelly. The worst person on television was fired from NBC in the Today Show a few years ago, and that's Megyn Kelly. That's the worst person who's not on television anymore. Is you.
Ooh.
That's the worst person who's not on television. So hoorah
I don't know.
for that.
I'm pretty sure Megyn Kelly never went to the Hamptons and made somebody touch their junk like you did, Dawn. Or didn't he exposed? I think he exposed himself at this gay bar in the Hamptons.
NBC did something good with that. You know why? I like to give proof of things, evidence. Like when I said Donald Trump, the president of the United States, was racist, it wasn't my opinion. This isn't my opinion about Megyn Kelly. The evidence is there. I'm going to show you the evidence of Megyn Kelly, and that's just as I showed you the evidence of Donald Trump.
Yes, show us the evidence that you created. Oof. Yes, Jay, I agree 100%. Television is for old geezers. Let Dawn and Megyn and Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow, let them all get on YouTube and compete with other people. Like let's see what their numbers really would be when they're not being supported, when they're not being buttressed by a mainstream network. Wow, people actually super chat him. That's what I should do. I should subscribe to Don Lemon and super chat him. Oh, goodness. Pilgrim Media, Trump has been president for a month. Imagine 4 years. Yeah, it's going to be great. Let them bitch the whole time. Deranged lunatic for people that are named Joy are some of the most racist people, and they don't have any joy either. No, you're correct. Very much lacking in joy. Or maybe their joy, like in the sense like the Kamala Harris presidential campaign was full of joy. Fake joy. Junior, I'm going to miss seeing Missy Elliott on the nightly news, but hopefully they find an adequate hip hop performer to replace her. I hope so too. Oh, do we have another Joy compilation? Let's check that out. Let me try not to click myself out of this window for the 47th time. I'm borrowing a mouse right now. My other mouse died. A Good Riddance compilation. Ooh, let's check it out. This was a terrible hairdo for her.
The race lady. Why would they call me that? Is this really about me fixating on race? Or is it about you fixating on race?
But Donald Trump wants to never let black and brown folk up off the mat. Evident what they mean by DEI, right? Why not just say what you mean? You can't stand black people. We get it. You've been heard.
Are you committed to naming a black woman as your vice presidential running mate?
They wanted to go after the brown people too, because of course that is their other target.
You feel joy? Say joy.
It's not fashionable to be openly racist anymore.
That's why you're losing your job.
In America, unlike what they call the good old days, only the white Christian men may have the things. So you own everything that happens to your mixed status families and to your wives, sisters, and abuelas.
Joy.
If you are black plus anything else, you are black. Violent white nationalism that today threatens our national security.
What are those earrings? Did she make those herself?
Security.
Make a joyful noise.
Don't send any of those invites to any black women you know.
We do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men. Let's be clear.
I mean, you're also a white guy.
She hates white people. It's so obvious.
Are you saying the we is white folks need more kids?
Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears.
Only God can give that woman the kind of joy she had right there.
Similarities to what happened in Germany and what's happening now in America are just undeniable.
What sort of, don't they have professional makeup people working at these networks? Why do they have to do her up in such clown-like makeup colors? Yikes.
Are just undeniable. Donald Trump is acting like a Nazi, talking like a Nazi, and now posting like a Nazi. Like Trump, Hitler was also viewed as a clown, a goon who could be kept in line after a 4-year break to, learn.
She loves her statement earrings. Got to give her that.
To accurately quote Adolf Hitler. Right wingers were saying, get in the oven anytime you made any benign comment on Twitter. Elon Musk, I guess he misses the old South Africa in the 80s. He wants that back. Yes, look. Not only is Trump a criminal, he's also someone who is arguably in mental and perhaps even cognitive decline.
You don't get to say that when you covered for Biden for 4 years.
Yes, Biden is aging. He shuffles when he walks and forgets names and makes gaffes. But he's not incoherent. He can give us a prompter speech.
Wow, you can read off a teleprompter. That's all we need for our commander-in-chief.
Kamala Harris has passed the audition flawlessly. This has been, in many ways, a perfect campaign. For misappropriating black vernacular for misogynistic purposes, Elon Musk is the absolute worst. They've taught people the word inflation, right? Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using
Oh my God, how dumb does she think we are?
it now because they've been taught it. So many of us are not safe in Donald Trump's America. If you're mad at United Healthcare and you voted for Trump, you essentially voted for America to be run like United Healthcare.
And you think, oh yeah, they let the race lady in. Blah, affirmative action. Blah. Well, listen, let me cheer you up, okay? I got into Harvard and Yale, Vassar, and the University of Denver too, because I had a really high GPA and fantastic SAT scores. Let me just be clear.
What would you get? You should have said your scores.
I got into Harvard.
Oh, look, here she is with Rachel Maddow. They really are buddies.
Harvard only because of affirmative action. A Black woman forced you to pay a $175 million fine. For me, there's something poetic and actually wonderful about that. It says something good about our country that we're still capable of having that happen. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home.
Yeah, I think we're over DEI. I think we want to go back to merit, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Hi, deranged lunatic. Would it be racist if you impersonated Joy Reid? I do have a short blonde wig. I could reuse the old Frost wig. If I wanted to be just so as accurate as I would like to be as an artist, I think yes. Maybe I'll just have to do it for Frank in the privacy of my own home. I'll just do blackface for him. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. What a mess. How exciting though. It's really nice to see, isn't it? Look, maybe all these fired corporate propagandists can get together and do their own panel show. Wouldn't that be nice? I heard that they're going to try to put together people have been talking about this forever, that they're going to put together a conservative view. Wow. I'm just looking at this old because I was trying to remember why Megyn Kelly got fired. This is an old article from The Guardian. And that's why she's like, I'm a different Megyn Kelly now. I have long hair. She looks fantastic. Like she somehow gets younger and younger. The cancellation of the X-Fox host glossy morning show is a reminder that the networks need to be more stringent when assessing the politics of their hirings. Ooh, and this was 2018. This was the beginning of all this BS. Well, not like the beginning, but it really ramped up. I think it was after this moment, they're like, no, we're not going to hire anybody unless they are a brainless liberal. Whoa. Okay, so she was fired because she defended blackface Halloween costumes on air. That's it? That's what radicalized her. It will be easy for opponents of political correctness to rally against liberal media overreach, outreach culture, and corporate censure. Just as easy, perhaps, as it should have been for NBC to see how ill-fated hiring Kelly was in the first place. Folks at 30 Rock believe they could remake a former Fox News firebrand in their image, moving her from night to morning, right to center, hard news to soft. But Kelly's blackface comments, which earned rebuke from colleagues and network chairman, with last straw. That's why she was fired? That's it? Oof. They're wagging their finger like, how dare you hire a former Fox News person? Blame her own firing for the supposed bias. Blacklisting of famous conservatives. Wow. It's the normal ebb and flow of market forces. Oh. So why don't we call that now? Why don't we say that that's what's going on now? It's the ebb and flow of market forces. Joy Reid, Don Lemon, Rachel Maddow. News media and networks want to have their cake and eat it, maintaining core audiences while gobbling up others. In Trump's base, they saw an opportunity. And again, it's like these networks probably they're just going to follow whatever's going to keep the views up. Whether they like Trump or not, they have to go with what people are watching now. Look at this. Opportunity contingent of voters supposedly underserviced in entertainment and tried to capitalize. I guess that's what they're going to do again now. And Joy should really understand that. But you know what? She probably forgot. Because she's on top of the world for the last 4 years. Able to spout propaganda without being checked. And now she's, I guess, truly realizing that the tides are turning. She's like, but I thought I could stay and keep doing my bullshit. Let's see what they're going to say. Conservative View. I would watch a Conservative View. Boo, doo, 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 doo. Ba, 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 ba. New View. I think they were thinking of. Okay, wow, don't Google that. Don't Twitter search New View because porn comes up right away. Wow, I can't search anything. Yuck. Unbelievable. Gosh darn it, Twitter. How could you? Oh, it's about Megyn Kelly. Thank you. Good night, mister. She got fired because she got too close to the sun and the agency didn't like it too much. I think she got fired over some sexual harassment claims she made against Fox execs, and Fox used the first excuse to get rid of her. Okay, that makes sense. It was over asking a question. Kelly got fired because she asked why it was all right for some folks to get a pass for blackface, like Jimmy Kimmel, and others don't. Wow, she got fired over that. Megyn Kelly says didn't even mention Don Lemon, so she didn't pass any media attention his way. Good try, Lemon. That's true. She didn't mention him. She just focused on that dude, Rachel Maddow. Yep, they've been on TV this whole time. Now they're racist for firing Joy. Right. What were they before when they hired her? That's interesting. Still waiting on them to call common sense a right-wing grift. They are. They basically do call it that. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. She sided with Fox and Me Too folks. Yep, made some enemies. Oh. She also burned her Fox audience and they didn't follow her to NBC. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't. That seems like pretty ambitious to completely change networks like that. You're going to be pigeonholed, unfortunately. Oh, thank you, Fealty. Bold plans for conservative version of The View to appeal to Trump voters. Plans for a conservative version of The View are underway, according to a new report. LA Times owner Patrick Soon-Shiong is overseeing the project. Those familiar with the matter told Status Oliver Darcy, a little 2 months removed from an interview between the two. The billionaire called off after it said it became combative. The sit-down was stopped after Soon-Shiong was asked about his efforts to bring conservative CNN commentator Scott Jennings onto his paper's editorial board, a bid that came to fruition within days. Last week, Soon-Shiong advertised his new acquisition in a tweet touting a new venture he's dubbing as LAT Next. Latinx? Sounds like Latinx. While it's unclear what exact shape LAT Next will take, insiders told Status this week, the entity will feature digital-first personalities that will appeal to a more MAGA base. It will also be separate from the newspaper it's named for altogether, they were told. It will also apparently contain programming with the View-esque show being its main attraction, Status reported. Set to launch soon. When was this written? A couple weeks ago? Valentine's Day. Okay. The spinoff comes months after the 72-year-old first raised eyebrows by refusing to endorse a presidential candidate. The move echoed one made by billionaire Jeff Bezos for the Washington Post. Since then, Soon-Shiong has offered repeated praise. Oh, wow, look at that. How convenient for Trump and his recently installed Health and Human Services Director, RFK Jr. At the start of the new year, Soon-Shiong welcomed Kennedy's wife, Cheryl Hines, to a meeting at the paper's offices. She'd be great on it. Status reported for talks regarding what was framed as a right-leaning version of the opinion-based show. Another at the summit was vaccine skeptic Rob Schneider. In fact, they just call him vaccine skeptic. Wow. Not comedian, not comedic actor. Darcy reported, adding it was the actor's idea. It would be nice to see. On Tuesday, Darcy reported there have been talks about adding Candace Owens to LAT Next fold as well. It's unclear whether she, Schneider, or Hines are attached to LAT Next, the latest digital pivot for a formerly left-leaning news outlets. CNN has aired such plans as well, while administering nearly 200 layoffs within its struggling TV division. Layoffs were seen at NBC News' offices 30 Rock last month as well, after parent company Comcast announced cable spinoff SpinCo as part of a greater shift to streaming. Darcy has also reported that Disney-owned ABC News is considering a consolidation of its Good Morning America and GMA3 team as part of a digital-geared pivot. On Monday, as the channel's based in Manhattan, network chief Alman Karamedmivak reportedly revealed how Disney exec in charge of the network, Deborah O'Connell, was in SoCal, showing higher-ups her long-term plans for the network. The comments, which according to Darcy only sparked fears of more layoffs, were aired 5 years removed from the rollout of the news channel streaming service. Amid this, Soon Xiang has embarked on a series of moves showing his increasingly right-leaning views, like planning LA Mayor Karen Bass for making cuts to the city's fire department budget. Look at his concerned, empathetic eyes. And there's Cheryl and Rob Schneider. I can't believe they're just calling him a vaccine skeptic. Wow. Within days, the creator of the cancer drug Abraxane said he had regretted the Times' previous endorsement of Bass. Days later, the doctor told former Trump press secretary Sean Spicer on the latter's podcast that RFK Jr. knows more about the science than most doctors. He has been subject to criticism for his comments about vaccines. Towards the end of the month, a Real Clear Investigations claimed that Soon Xiang was leaning on Eric Beach and his new Republican consultant to help recruit new voices for the paper's editorial board. In Status's Tuesday piece, Darcy wrote how both Soon Xiang and Beach over the last few weeks have been hard at work at building out the new entity. Beach, meanwhile, ran the pro-Trump Great America PAC, which supported the presidential run in 2016 and 2020. On January 28th, Soon Xiang tweeted of RFK on the eve of his confirmation, "The more I got to know him, I truly believe he has the American public's best interests at heart. I have worried about toxins and the cause of cancer my entire career as a physician scientist. I really hope he's confirmed tomorrow." 3 days later, the doctor, worth an estimated $11 billion, touted how his tweet had 35 million views, framing it as a reflection of the public support of Kennedy. Hours before, an opinion story was published in the LA Times about the politician titled "Why RFK Jr. Has Captured the Attention of Everyday Moms." Because he's hot and he cares about health. The piece explored various groups of organized moms who either applauded and sought to block the former Independent's nomination. The following day, now former LA Times writer Eric Reinhart revealed that another piece he penned earlier in the week about Kennedy had been edited to change the original intent to criticize Kennedy's nomination and beliefs to a more uplifting article. The piece he tweeted was originally titled "RFK Jr.'s Wrecking Ball Won't Fix Public Health, but it'll help." Soon Xiang, meanwhile, linked to the edited piece, promoted its new title, "Opinion Trump's Healthcare Disruption Could Pay Off If He Pushes Real Reform." In his own words, the doctor called Kennedy our best chance of pushing real reform. The characterization was a far cry from that of Reinhart, who called Kennedy effectively a mass murderer in waiting in a tweet. Wow. Reinhart, who had been writing for the Times for the first time, went on to promise that the op-ed was definitely the last time he writes for the paper. This caused the term LA Times to trend on X, where NPR found Soon Shiong boosted Kennedy 18 times within a 4-day span in January. Other tweets penned the following month talked up figures such as Elon Musk, after which David Dayen, the executive editor of the American Prospect, suggested Soon Shiong's coverage stemmed from his biotech company having 3 applications pending with the FDA. Oh, that'll do it. Okay, so this is showing how he is becoming, his posts are showing how he's becoming increasingly more right-leaning. In a February tweet promoting Doge, the doctor wrote, healthcare reform is desperately needed. We have the lowest survival and longevity rate per capita spend, perverse incentive, fraud, and inability to measure outcomes or accountability. Otherwise, a great system. That same day, in a now unavailable tweet, Soon Shiong appeared to again reference the California wildfires in a response to his Lakers' latest trade for Luka Doncic, writing, the city is on fire with excitement. Welcome, Luka. The same week, the former billionaire confirmed Jennings, already part of the LA Times board, would be part of LAT next. The venture has staffers worried about what appears to be a significant workplace reduction, Darcy wrote in his piece Tuesday, adding that Soon Shiong appears eager to pump money into the personally driven bid. Characters like Jennings and Schneider definitely fit the criteria, but nothing about the View-esque program has been confirmed as of Wednesday. I think people would watch it. Look at the comments. It doesn't have to be conservative, just polite, not yelling, observing decorum, which means keeping out character assassinations and dealing in facts or opinions based on facts. Conflicting points of view can occur as long as they are backed up with facts. It's how Barbara Walters used to run it before it was taken over by the current nasties. Yeah, it was good with Barbara. Now, this is something many of us would watch and enjoy. And I'll bet if it comes to fruition, would tank the views ratings any day. Just don't hire anyone named Joy and we're good to go. Or Whoopi. Oh, yeah, I hope they do it. I hope they do it. Oh, boy. How fun. Would you guys watch a conservative View? I know RFK is mega smart and all that, but is anybody really sure that the brain worm isn't still in there running the whole show? He's a brain worm? The brain worm is our friend. The brain worm is our life. Oh, okay. That's why he has the his speech impediment, because of a brain worm. We was Mega's. I hope they replace her with the whitest, blondest, Fox Newsiest, old money debutante from the Deep South. Yeah, I do too. That would piss her off the most. That'd be funny. With big hair. That's what the people like to see. Good night, Mr. Would not watch conservative View. I'm more about having actions take place in society than somebody talking about changing things. Ooh, look at you. We all need brain worms. Oh, wow. How exciting. Well, poor Joy Reid. Looks like she's going to be out at MSNBC. Hopefully Rachel Maddow is next. I'm enjoying the meltdowns, as I'm sure you guys are too at home. Well, that's it for me for this morning. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys